We did it! We're here! Welcome to opening day 2021. I'm here in Out of the Park Baseball 22, ready to kick off this episode first by looking at our owner, which is something I didn't do last episode. As you can see, here's our goals right here, and we have to meet these goals or else we'll be fired, is basically how this will go, and I will no longer be the GM/manager of the Rangers. We don't want that. We want to keep our owner happy. For our short-term goal of 2021, he wants us to don't suck completely. That is our goal. Don't suck completely. That is also my goal. Long-term goals he had for us. One of them was acquire a Gold Glove Award winner. We did that. We traded for J.P. Crawford. Another thing he wants us to do is find a top prospect. So far, we haven't done that. Not top 20. Cal Raleigh is ranked at 43 at the moment. However, we do have, I believe, the number 2 pick in this draft, so that may be an opportunity for us to pick up a eventual top 20 prospect. Wants us to build the farm to a top 6 farm. We've brought it up to 22nd. It was 27th. We've still got a long ways to go on that. And then long-term, build up the team to reach the playoffs. There you go. So as far as this year, don't suck completely. That's what we're trying to do. And we do have J.P. Crawford on board, so that's going to help. Well, alrighty, let's go ahead and play opening day. This will be a pitching matchup between Kohei Arihara and Brad Keller, and hopefully we'll come out on top. Let's see what we can do. First game of the foolish baseball regime. Nick Solak is our first hitter, full count. He's going to send it to right field, and that will drop for a single. So a good start for us there. Soler's put a charge into that one. That's going to be a leadoff single to start the bottom of the second. Benintendi walks, so the Royals are threatening here with 2 runners on and no outs. We're going to pitch to Merrifield. Merrifield hits it to center, but it is catchable. Runner tries to tag. He'll be safe, so they do get the runner to third. Dubon was not able to throw out Soler there. So runners on the corners, 1 out, Hunter Dozier at the plate. Hunter Dozier, very weak pop out to Crawford, and now it's up to Mondesi for the Royals. Mondesi hits it, second baseman's got it, that's Solak, he throws it to Lowe, and just like that, we're through 2 innings, still scoreless. All right, top of the 4th here, still no runs, hoping to get something going against Brad Keller here. Justin Williams leading off the inning for us. And he's got himself a double, it looks like. Let's see what Williams can do. He's going 3. And he is going to get thrown out at third base. I did not send. There was no prompt there to send, so that was very dumb. I didn't enjoy that whatsoever. All right, cool. CJ Crone strikes out. I mean, we could have scored a run this inning. Dubon walks, 2 outs, and swung at a very high pitch there. So still no runs. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Merrifield has hit that pretty far. That is going to be the first run of the season with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Merrifield hits a home run. Deep drive to left field. You know, is it in the judgment-free zone? I don't know, but there you go. Merrifield opens up the scoring for Kansas City. They lead 1-0. So Michael A. Taylor has hit a leadoff double to start the 5th. I have Taylor Hearn warming up right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a mound visit. And then I'm not going to change pitcher just yet. But, I mean, Arihara, he's only at 80 pitches, but he's starting to show a little bit of weakness there. So hopefully he can get through this inning. But if not, we will bring in Hearn. There's a ground out to the first baseman. It does advance the runner to third. There's another ground out to first, and we'll trade the out for the run there. So the run does score, but we have managed to prevent a larger rally for the most part. So I'm going to sit Hearn for now, and we're going to let Arihara face Salvi Perez. And he gets the strikeout. So that's probably Arihara's day done. 5 innings, 2 runs. I think it was a perfectly fine debut. Taylor Tremel has put a charge in that one. That was warning track as well, but that's the first out of the inning. Kiner Falefa. Ooh, he sends one opposite field. Hopefully that'll be a double and not, getting thrown out at third base for no reason like Justin Williams did. So for the first time, we're really threatening to score. They've brought in Brady Singer, and he's going to pitch to J.P. Crawford. Crawford strikes out. What I'm going to do, Hearn's only thrown 3 pitches. Okay, we're going to let Hearn pitch the 7th then, if that's the case. I'm not going to worry about warming someone up. Now I'm going to let Trevino hit. Trevino, ooh, he hits a deep single. So here's the situation. Do we want Kiner Falefa to round third? The ball is very shallow. I wouldn't agree with that. Kiner Falefa is an average runner. Kyle Isbell is a great arm. It's not a great spot, but with 2 outs, I'm going to send pretty much no matter what. So I'm going to say yes. Isbell comes home, and we're safe. So we have our first run, and as a bonus, Jose Trevino advances to second base. So I don't mind that either. Let's let Solak hit and see if we can get another run. He strikes out, but there we go. We have our first run of the season, but we still trail 2-1 going into the bottom of the 7th. Okay, Mondesi has just been walked. They've been really aggressive with the steals. Kyle Isbell has 2 steal attempts. He was thrown out on 1. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for a pitch out. And once I can find yeah, there it is. I'm going to go for a pitch out here because I'm afraid they might try to steal with Mondesi. Nobody went. Okay, so we're just going to pitch to Michael A. Taylor. Michael A. Taylor sends that one over the head of our center fielder. That may score a 3rd run because Mondesi is very fast. But no, actually, that's going to be runners on 2nd and 3rd. Hearn in. We could let him face Kyle Isbell. I think that makes sense to do. So we're going to let him face Isbell, lefty on lefty. And then, or we could walk Isbell and load the base, but I wouldn't want to do that. Isbell's not a great hitter, so there's a lot of speed on the base pass. There'd be even more speed if Isbell got on the base pass. I'm going to pitch to Isbell, and then I think no matter what happens, I'm going to bring in Bukowskis. So Isbell hits it. It should be able to tag on that, and they will. So there's their 3rd run. They manufacture a run there. I can't hate on that. I just want to bring in Bukowskis right now. Again, we don't want to let another run score. And that's going to squeeze through. Carlos Santana's got himself a single. Oh, and he botches it. I think that's what that was. Williams overruns the ball. So Williams so far in his debut has a double that he got thrown out, trying to stretch a triple, and now he has an error. And the score is 4-1. So that's not great. Tough break. Bukowskis does get the strikeout, but trailing 4-1, this offense needs to get going, and it hasn't really done that so far. All right, Mauricio Dubon leading off against their closer, Greg Holland. We need a rally. Put your rally caps on. Let's see what we can do. And he strikes out. That's going to bring up Taylor Tremel, full count. He walks, so we do get a base runner. That's what we need. We need base runners. Kiner Falefa at the plate. He walks too. Okay, so that brings up the tying run. Now this is getting interesting. J.P. Crawford at the plate. I'm contemplating pinch hitting for him. But, so I could bring in McCormick. I'm trying to think of how I would do this. Because I could bring in McCormick to pinch hit. And then, how would I arrange this infield? I think that's what I think, yeah, okay. I'm going to pinch hit just because it's fun to manage. So I'm going to bring in McCormick to pinch hit for Crawford, right? Well, hold on. I mean, we would be giving up platoon advantage there, though. You know what? I'm going to let Crawford hit, even though I think McCormick's the better hitter. And then if Trevino comes up, then what I'll do is I'll bring in McCormick for him and then put Butera in. I think that's how I'm going to handle this situation. So J.B. Crawford, we're going to let him hit. 2 runners on, 1 out. Oh, that was a strike 3. That was such a huge. If we loaded the bases there with 1 out, there were so many possibilities. That's tough. So they're going to bring in Carlos Hernandez to pitch to Trevino. I'm going to bring in Chas McCormick to pinch hit. And yeah, we're just going to see. We need I guess we just need a home run. So Chas McCormick, let's see what he could do in his Ranger debut. Well, he hits a fly ball. That's what we needed. That's part of what we needed, but it will be an out. We fall 4-1 to the Royals on opening day, but that's okay. We had decent pitching performances all around, and honestly, the team played like I expected it to. The thing that disappointed me the most was the defensive miscue in right field. But yeah, there you go. That's opening day for you. Hopefully it's not indicative of the other 161 games this season. The good news is, very often it's not. Very often you just kind of lose opening day, and then you just get on with your life. Try to win game 2. So the question is, can we win game 2? How long until we need a win? This is where our wins and losses will be displayed, by the way, if you want to just follow along. So we're going to sim to the next day. Brett Martin, it tells me, is eligible to come off IL. That's great news. Good for you, Brett Martin. What if you did a rehab assignment in the minors? Great. I just want to see if we can win a game first. Okay, so April 3rd. Now I'm feeling like we're getting a win here. We lose 2-12. Okay, so it's not a great start. It's not a great start, but we will have to see if we can avoid the sweep. So can we avoid the sweep against Kansas City? That's the question. We don't want to start off with a sweep. So we've lost 4-1, now 12-2, facing off against Danny Duffy. Can we at least get a win here? AJ Puk on the mound. We can. In extra innings, we've won a baseball game. We did it with a big 10th inning single from Charlie Culberson. As you can see, we used our lefty lineup in this game, so that was cool. You know, with that, you have Culberson playing, and you have Solak in the outfield, McCormick leading off. He walked twice. That's good. AJ Puk, he did enough, and you know what was big for us? The bullpen. We need the bullpen to be good. We need the defense to be good. We need the team chemistry to be good. That's how we're going to overachieve this season. I don't think we're going to score a ton of runs, but we're gonna play our game. So there we are. We win 1 of 3 games to start the season. By the way, one player I want to highlight, Adolis Garcia, you know, he's doing huge things in real life. In this game, you know, we're going to just leave him in AAA for now. But it's one of those things where, hey, if he gets hot, he could be up in the majors too. So I just want to kind of draw attention to him. If this game was released now, these ratings I'm sure would be higher. And, you know, he would hopefully be one of the best players on the team. But that's just kind of part of how the rosters work, you know. So, you know, I know you're probably watching this like, oh, he's got so many home runs this year. Why isn't he in the majors on Foolish Baseball's team? You know, it's real life isn't always OOTP. So we're just going to see what he can do. If he can rake in AAA, then yeah, I could see him in the majors for us for sure. He has 60 home run power. They got that right. First real injury of the season here is to CJ Crone. Strained hamstring, 5 weeks. We are playing with high injury frequency. So, you know, don't be surprised if there's a lot of guys that get hurt this year. That's just something we're going to have to be prepared for. So what we're going to do is we're going to put Mr. Crone on the injured list, and we're going to be looking for a replacement for him, and that's not going to be so easy. We don't have a lot of first basemen, you know, real, you know, slugging first baseman, which is what we could go for. Curtis Terry, I mean, do we want to put this guy in the majors? I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to figure it out for now. The answer might be to bring in Adolis Garcia. So let me figure that out real quick. All right, you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to promote Garcia for a few games, and then the way this is going to work is in about a week's time, Calhoun and Davis will become available, and you know those will be the guys that can kind of fill in as, DH types. So let's bring in Garcia for a stretch. Why not? He's the hero of the current Texas Rangers in real life. All right, we're here on April 11th. Charlie Culberson had a minor injury, hand contusion, but we were just decided to keep him on the 26-man roster and let him sit out through that. So he has one more day left on that. Chris Davis and Willie Calhoun are both back, which means it's probably time for Adolis Garcia to go down to AAA for now. He has gotten 2 games under his belt, and you know what? He has 2 hits, and he hit his first Major League home run in this game, so that's good. As you can see, slashing a cool 333, 333, 833 for a 201 OPS plus. Good for him. We're going to send him down to AAA for now, let Chris Davis get a run of games at that DH spot. And yeah, that's my plan for now. Willie Calhoun I'll probably put in AAA. But I mean, all these guys, Calhoun, Davis, Garcia, Crone, who's hurt for 4 more weeks, we're just looking for the hot bat. And whoever's the hot bat is ultimately who's going to get a stretch of games. So for now, we're going to let Chris Davis get his turn. If he stinks, guess what? Someone else is going to get a turn. All right now it's April 13th, and something that doesn't usually happen to me, or at least hasn't happened to me in past versions of this game, has happened right now, which is that I've received a trade offer that interests me. And this trade offer involves me sending Kyle Gibson, but covering, most of his contract, in exchange for Zach Collins. Now, trading Kyle Gibson, it's not that I'm super opposed to that anyway, but I'm super interested in Zach Collins, actually, because I think Zach Collins could really hit in this game, and that excites me. So if Zach Collins is up for trade, I may look at him even if it's not necessarily Kyle Gibson, because Zach Collins could be the answer to just getting another DH first baseman type in there into the mix, because I think he can hit. As you can see, he's a catcher. He has a 40 catcher ability, so I'm not really that interested in his ability to play the catcher position. I think he'll be more of a first base DH type for me. I think the White Sox in real life are kind of going through this to some extent right now with guys like Collins and Yermin Mercedes. But yeah, if we can get our hands on Collins, he could catch every now and then, I guess, but he would be mostly a first base DH type. So I'm going to pursue a trade and see if we can get a deal done. Okay, cool. I did find a deal. Very exciting. I'm not going to be trading Gibson. I'm going to be trading Joe Gatto, who's a Italian-American, God bless, for Zach Collins. We already talked about Zach Collins. And once again, Zach Collins is going to get thrown into that mix for us as a DH first base candidate. The only real problem with Zach Collins, I must say, is that he's a left-handed hitter, and Nate Lowe is also a left-handed hitter. So I can't really play the platoon game as much there, but I mean, if Nate Lowe and Zach Collins both hit, and they can both hit lefties well enough, then I would be okay with it. So we're going to go ahead and make this trade. I think it has high upside, and I don't think it has, I don't think we're going to miss Joe Gatto that much. I mean, he's probably like the 8th or 9th best starting pitcher we have in the organization, so I wouldn't see him in the majors necessarily. So yeah, we're going to make this trade. Enjoy, White Sox. Hopefully you can get some use out of him. We've hit something of a rough stretch here. We actually started the season 5-3. We have now lost 5 games in a row, putting us, way off the division lead now. We're 5.5 games from Houston, who are off to a blistering 10-2 start. Good for them, but I'm just going to see, I don't want this winning streak to continue, so how long will this go? I don't know. Let's play our next game. It's versus Baltimore and Michael Bauman. Okay, and we do get a win, 10-7, so it's good to snap that streak, and it's also good to score 10 runs in a game. I don't think we'll be doing that too often this series, but it's good to see. Chris Davis getting his first hits of the season. He goes 3 for 4. He was hitless coming into this game, so that's good to see. And what did he hit? 2 home runs? Let's see. Chris Davis. Yeah, he hit 2 home runs in this game, so good for him. Hopefully that can work out, but if not, hey man, we got Calhoun, we have Collins. We've got Garcia, we've got Crone, we've got guys. This is what it's all about. You got to build up that depth because A, you want to be able to ride the hot hand, and B, there's going to be a lot of injuries. So, got to be prepared for that. Looking at our team rankings right now, we're 15th in OPS. That honestly doesn't surprise me. I'm not shocked by that. We're a light-hitting team, no doubt about that. What we need to hope for is better defense. We need to be an above-average defense, and we need to be better at the bullpen because those were sort of our keys. Bullpen's been bad. Starters have been pretty solid. They haven't been too bad. We've had some big games. Widener, in particular, has had a couple good starts to start the year. So we'll let our team play more games before we start making decisions as far as who to send to AAA, who to bring up. But that's what the season's all about. It's about riding the hot hand when we can. All right, we've got a real deal disappointing injury here. J.B. Bukauskas, one of these great young pitchers we've traded for. He had a 1 ERA through 8.2 innings, so that was nice, but he has torn his rotator cuff. Recovery time, 12 months. That's a big bummer. He was not in our rotation for now to start the season, but he was going to be in our rotation at some point if things went right, so it's a bummer to see that happen to him. But hey, that's part of the game, and that's part of baseball. We're going to have to learn to overcome obstacles such as this one. This is a big obstacle, but we're going to put him on the 60-day IL. J.B. Bukauskas, sorry that this hasn't worked out. But yeah, we'll see. We'll just keep trudging forward. Okay, I've brought up DeMarcus Evans to take Bukauskis' spot. Ian Kennedy has been promoted. He'll take sort of that stopper role that Bukauskas was doing, 7th in close game. So, yep, that's how we're going to replace him. DeMarcus Evans can hopefully get off to a hot start. And if not, you know what? We've got other relievers in the minors. He may need a little bit more developing, but he's a big relief prospect for us. So if he can get, a good start to this season, that would be helpful for his development. Another situation that I'm monitoring here is Justin Williams, our right fielder. Justin Williams has an injury that has a delayed diagnosis, so he was injured on the 17th. It's now the 19th. We still don't know what it is. Usually the more delayed a diagnosis is in this game, I found the worse an injury can be. And that would be especially disappointing if Justin Williams were to suffer a lengthy injury because he's one of the few hitters who's having a good start to the season. As you can see, slashing 356, 400, 556 through 50 plate appearances, so it's a small sample, but he is off to a good start. I hope whatever injury this is, it's not catastrophic. So let's just kind of move forward until we can get the news on that. And Kyle Gibson is day-to-day. We still have no word 3 days after the injury on what Justin Williams is, so I'm really hoping this isn't going to be a big deal. We do get a win versus the Angels. Gibson, you can tell, left this game hurt early. He'll be day-to-day moderate for 1 week. But, Evans came in, he did well, and really just the bullpen as a whole did a great job this game, in a tough spot for them. So we were able to defeat Quintana and the Angels. So that was at least a good win for us, but we need answers on Justin Williams. Still diagnosis pending. This has been going on for 5 days now. This is crazy. Let's play another game. We're at the 21st now. We still don't know what's going on with Justin Williams. We've beaten LA again. That's great, but we need to know what's going on with Justin Williams. Justin Williams, elbow strain, 6 weeks. Finally, we have answers. And then we have a diagnosis pending on Tremel as well, so I don't like that either. So, our corner outfield spots are looking sus right now. As for Justin Williams, we can put him on the IL. We can, make McCormick a full-time player. We can kind of deal with that. I'm just glad he's not going to miss the rest of the season, honestly. But for Tremel, now we're in that same spot again. So let's go ahead and account for Justin Williams' absence first, and then we'll deal with Tremel. So the way I'm going to deal with the absence of Williams is pretty basic. I'm going to bring up Calhoun, and then I'm going to I've put in McCormick to play right field, and Calhoun's basically going to be a bench bat, excuse me. So that's simple, but if Tremel's hurt, then that's going to cause, some serious rearranging at that point, and then I'll have to really figure out what my next move is. So let's see what happens with Tremel's injury, We already have Bukauskas out for 12 months, Williams out for 6 weeks. So that's not great, We need answers on this Tremel. Tremel day-to-day, 4 days. Minimal. He could play through it. So I'm not too alarmed there. So there you go. We're 8-11. It's April 23rd, by the way. And I'll meet up with y'all when we have our next piece of news. All right, we're here May 1st. This is a big day because the minor league season is starting. So that's going to be helpful for us in terms of riding the hot hand. We have a lot of guys in AAA who are capable of playing on this team. If they play well, they will be on this team, and we're going to be paying attention, in the weeks coming to how players are doing at the major league level, and we're going to make the swaps if necessary. I did just notice Chris Davis is injured, diagnosis pending. I hope that's not bad. I hope that's not bad because he's off to a terrific start for us. I'm really hoping he can be the answer at DH for us this season. If not, once again, we have options. But if it's Chris Davis, I'd love it to be Chris Davis. He had 6 homers in 17 games, so hopefully that injury's not too bad. I've already made one move so far. I sent down Taylor Hearn, who had been our worst reliever by far, and I brought up Brett Martin up from AAA, I guess is where he was. I guess alternate site would be almost the way of putting where he was. But Brett Martin is back from his injury, and if he can't get it going, guess what? We got other guys too. That's the magic of the game. I have a good team in here somewhere. It's really just up to me to find it. That's what this season's all about. So May 1st, minor league season starting. Let's get it. Oh, and one more thing. We are 15-13. However, I think it's a mirage because we've scored 103 runs and we've allowed 129 runs. So we should definitely be an under 500 team. But we've gotten lucky, and you know how you beat your Pythagorean record, among other things? Well, you get a good bullpen. That's start of it. Our bullpen ERA, we've dropped it below 4, so we're making some progress there. Rafael Montero has been an absolute revelation for us, and Blake Taylor's been pretty good too. So we're just going to try to get more relievers like that. But yeah, that's kind of where the team's at right now, 15-13, but probably in over their head. We've just received the news that Chris Davis's injury is a torn thumb ligament, 2 weeks. Honestly, not too bad. We'll put him on the 10-day IL. He won't take much more than that. And we're going to check in. Calhoun is only six plate appearances so far. This may be the time to call up either Garcia or Collins. So I'll just have to figure that out for myself. Okay, so considering we already have Calhoun up there. Okay, actually what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Willie back to AAA. And then I'm going to bring in Collins and Garcia. Garcia can be like a bench bat / just a guy who can play a corner outfield spot in a jiffy. And then we're gonna give Collins a run of games at that DH spot that I was talking about. So, will that work? I don't know, but yeah. I mean, it's only a 2-week injury, so this will give us an opportunity to give our new acquisition Zach Collins a chance. Like I said, he's a 4-star catcher in this game. I mean, that's awesome, but he has a 40 catcher ability, so ideally, I'd like to not play him at the catcher position, and Jose Trevino hasn't been too bad. So if Jose Trevino could just keep hitting like this, I'd be perfectly fine with that because we're going to make use of that catcher ability in terms of bringing our just team ERA down quite a bit. All right, so we've got Nate Lowe. We're 50 games into the season. He has 200 plate appearances, and it's just not really going his way at the moment. He's slashing 197, 260, 309. It just hasn't gone great for him, which is a bummer because I think he could be a really good hitter for us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send him down to AAA, see if he can get his act together, and then maybe make it back to the majors. And my move is going to be to bring Crone in to play first base for us. And so that's just going to be kind of how I handle things. So it's going to be Crone first base, Davis DH for us, at least for the time being. So, yeah. let's continue on with our season. All right, so we're here May 30th. Justin Williams is back from his 6-week injury. That's going to be big for us potentially. Outfield has been tough for us because Chas McCormick got hurt. So basically Chas McCormick and Justin Williams are going to trade places. So being able to introduce Justin Williams into the lineup, I think is going to be potentially huge for us going forward. He's going to replace a spot that was at this point occupied by Adolis Garcia. So that's going to be Justin Williams, and we're going to move him up in the lineup to I'm happy putting him there. And I was using Williams as a platoon bat earlier in the season, so he was not starting against left-handed pitching. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to start him against left-handed pitching. Well, let's think about that. Let's look at Garcia's ratings. You know what I'll do? We will continue the platoon. I'll start Garcia in right field against that type of pitching. All right. That's my plan. Let's get going with the season. Just for the sake of due diligence in terms of the rotation, so AJ Puk's been by far our best pitcher, and I'm actually just going to move him up into the ace spot. It's not going to make a huge difference in terms of how he's used, but it will help. And then I think I'm going to put Brandon Bielek into the long relief role, and just let Dane Dunning get a stretch in the rotation, and just see what that does. You know, we're gonna experiment with different guys throughout the year, and we'll see what happens. So that's my next move, is to rearrange the rotation just a little bit and see if I can make some magic happen. This is the type of game that I really like to see just win 2-1. You know, you get a solid start from Kyle Gibson, and then, you know, he just turns it over to Montero, Taylor, Evans, and they just shut it down. That's what we need. That's really what this team needs. That's sort of the blueprint to how we're gonna win ball games. I mean, speaking of the bullpen, DeMarcus Evans. I mean, this guy, he's up to 14.1 innings now. And he's like, I don't feel like allowing a run. I don't feel like doing that. Do I have to? I'm not going to do that. He's allowed 3 hits. He's allowed 3 hits in 14.1 innings, 19 strikeouts, 3 walks, no runs. Phenomenal. This guy's been absolutely insane for us. And I'm really happy to see it. AJ Puk just continuing to be a nuisance to the league. We love it. He's allowed 4 home runs in 13 starts. That's great. And if you do that, you're going to have a good ERA, and that's what he's done at 2.45 ERA, 6 scoreless innings against San Francisco today in a win. He has been the best starting pitcher on this team by a pretty good margin, so good for AJ Puk. Hopefully he can set an example for some of the other pitchers on the team. I thought it'd be good just to take some time here in mid-June to go over our prospects. Rookie ball has just started in Dominican Republic. You know, I'm not too concerned with those guys right now. And then, so we're going to take a look at first prospect is Drew Strotman. Drew Strotman, who is going back to high A after he was last there in 2019. Remember, the 2020 season's canceled. He's doing well. And I'm kind of thinking I want to put him in Double A. What I can do here is I can change his ratings and see what his ratings would look like relative to Double A. And they're not amazing, but, I mean, he's 24, almost 25. I think I'm going to just put Strotman up in Double A and see what happens, because he's been solid through 7 starts at High A, so we're going to try him in Double A. That'll make him happy. So Strotman to Double A. Who else did we have in A? Luis Angel Acuna is hurt. I put him in A, and I was aggressive in doing so. So he was bad in A for 16 games, and then he got hurt. Yeah, that was an aggressive move on my part. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send him back down to rookie ball, Dominican Republic. So when he heals from his injury, that's what he'll get sent back to. I was just a little too overzealous there, I think. Zion Bannister, we started in A. He's not doing great. He's not a huge prospect for us, though. Ronnie Henriquez, 20-year-old pitcher in A. You know, he's striking out 10 per 9. That's pretty good. He hasn't been bad at all, but he's not going to be due for a promotion anytime soon. Vidal Brujan's been great at AA. That's really exciting to see. I'm just looking, you know, based on the fact that he also played there in 19, I'm thinking what I'm going to do with Vidal Brujan is just put him up at AAA Round Rock. He's honestly one of the better prospects we have. Avery Williams, I just added to the list. He was the other pitcher acquired in the Lance Lynn trade. He's doing well at AA through 5 games. I'm not going to promote him just yet, but yeah, he's doing solid. Let's see who else I can take a look at here. Okay, yeah, we're going to look at Cal Raleigh, who's best prospect we have, to be honest, but his ratings have come down in the eyes of our scout, who now has a high accuracy look at him. So that's a bummer. But this trade with Seattle was kind of the big blockbuster we've made. We've gotten some good stuff out of Rafael Montero. But yeah, I'm just curious to see how is Huff doing. Huff is doing. I mean, he's raking at AA, but you know it's not the majors. And then Gallo has been pretty solid for Seattle so far. So far, I would say they're winning that trade. But yeah, and Raleigh's not doing great at AA, but we'll see. He's still got some development left to do. Sherton Apostle, he's in AAA. He's not doing well. Wyatt Mills is in AAA. He is doing well. Dennis Santana, I was looking at him earlier. It's just the homers, man. His strikeouts and his walks aren't too bad, but it's the homers. But so yeah, Wyatt Mills is maybe kind of the next man up in terms of this bullpen. So that's where we're at with our prospects. You know, I'd be curious to sort of look at our bullpen, see if anyone's really struggling. And the answer is honestly no. I mean, Belak's just been added to the bullpen, but everyone in the bullpen has has a 3.7 FIP or lower. So bullpen's been a strength for us. Wyatt Mills doing well. He's an extension of that strength. So that's sort of your update on the prospects. And yeah, 28-37. We're not winning the division this year, but if we could avoid last just ahead of the A's, you know, that's not too bad, right? Our goal is just to not suck completely. June 22nd now, in a battle of the bottom of the AL West, we came out on top against Oakland today. Biggest thing I want to point out is Chris Davis starting the game off with a 3-run home run off Chris Bassett, who got shelled. Chris Davis revenge game. That's what it's all about. Chris Davis revenge game. However, he's not hitting 247 just yet. He's going to have to settle for 195 for now. Jonathan Hernandez, ever since he joined this bullpen, has been brilliant for us. Look at these. I mean, 16 strikeouts in 8 innings. I mean, look at this guy. He's just on fire. No home runs allowed. 1 earned run allowed. He's been great. Good for him. He has a minor injury, though, and I'm okay with it because what it's going to do is it's going to allow us to give Wyatt Mills a run because he's been really good so far in the minors. Well, I say that. He's hit a really, goodness gracious. In his most recent game, 6 earned runs, too. Okay, maybe he's not the guy then. Maybe I don't want to put him in after he's had a game like that. So, what about Hearn? How's Hearn doing? Hearn's doing pretty solid, it looks like. We're going to put him up in the majors. The 2 guys I'm really curious here, also in AAA, are Nate Lowe and Zach Collins. Collins, this is the type of profile you can almost expect from him. He's kind of a Grandal. He's kind of a Yasmani Grandal. And, you know, you have that 186 batting average, you're like, ugh. And then you have that 392 on base and 508 slugging. You're like, oh, well, I kind of like that. So he's going to be worth paying attention to. Nate Lowe is raking in a much more traditional sense, and it's going to cause me to sort of re-examine the work of Mr. CJ Crone, who, you know, we've given him his run of games. We really have. And I got to be honest with you guys, he hasn't been that freaking good. He has not hit a home run yet. He has 65 home run power, so they say. He has not hit a home run in 113 plate appearances. So I'm thinking for Crone, this may be it. I don't think he has options. Let's see if he does. No. So we can waive DFA him. I don't know if he'll refuse promotion to the minors. If he does, he'll be cut from the team. But I'm going to give Nate Lowe another run here. And honestly, you know, if Chris Davis keeps hitting badly, you know, Zach Collins maybe is next to follow. So yeah, that's kind of our update on the old lineup. You know, in general, this team, we've had a few guys hitting well. Solak's hit well this year, you know. Solak's hit well. Dubon's actually starting to pick it up. He had a really awful start. He's starting to pick it up at the plate. Trevino has gone cold. He had a really hot start. Justin Williams has been brilliant. He hasn't played that much because he missed 6 weeks, but he's been brilliant. We're starting to get some good hitters. The problem is just the bottom of the lineup is just a mess. There's really no other way of putting it. So our goal for the offseason is probably going to be not to make that bottom of the lineup a mess. And because we have a 657 team OPS, and we scored 249 runs in 73 games. So, but hey, pitching's good. Pitching's been pretty good. So look on the bright side. And we're not in last place. So CJ Crone refuses to be demoted. You know, he hit decent in his trip to Round Rock, which was for rehab, his injury. But 2021 in the majors, it hasn't gone well. No homers. He's just going to be cut. So CJ Crone experience is over. And yeah, first base belongs to Nate Lowe / maybe Zach Collins. We'll see about that. But yeah, there you go. And then let's sim forward a day, because July 1st is a pretty big day, especially if you're a rebuilding team. And that is with regards to international free agent signings. So let's take a look at these international amateurs and see if there's anyone we want to pick up. All right, I've gotten a chance to look at these players. Jose Gutierrez is probably the best one, but he's not going to be who I go for. So I'm going to hold off on international amateur signings. The way I generally play this is every few years you'll get a really good class with some really, you know, superstar potential players. And what I'll do is I'll just max out my $5 million on one of those guys. I don't see anyone that I would want to max out the $5 million on now, so that means I'm just going to skip signing international amateurs. However, we do have the draft coming up, so that'll be another opportunity for us to acquire some young talent and bolster our farm system. Thought it'd be nice to just take a look at these top 10 prospects. You probably recognize all these names except for Rick Madrid. Rick Madrid, a scouting discovery for the Nationals. 18-year-old starting pitcher, Rick Madrid. That's a great name. I wish him luck just for that name alone. However, he has not made his pro debut just yet. Wander Franco is obviously number one. He's in the majors with Tampa. Guess what? He's doing great. Bobby Witt is in AAA. Guess what? He's doing great. Maybe they should put him in the majors. Oh, he is in the majors. Well, there you go. He's in the majors. And he's doing pretty good. Julio Rodriguez, I was surprised to see in the majors, making that jump from high A to the majors. Guess what? He's handling it. And he's got, with these ratings, man, I'll tell you what, he has potential to be one of the absolute top players in this save. And that excites me because I'm a big Julio Rodriguez fan in real life. I think he really has like that superstar potential. He's my favorite Mariners prospect personally. Another big Mariners prospect is obviously Jared Kelenic. He's doing really well too. So overall, I would say prospects around the league are doing well. Gore's doing solid. Manning is struggling, but he has good ratings, so I'm sure he'll get it together. But yeah, that's just a little look at some of the top prospects. Our scout. Oh wait, I didn't want to look at our scout. I want to look at our owner, Ray Davis. Overall, he's pretty happy with what we're doing. He wants us to win more. You know, I understand that. He likes that we acquired J.P. Crawford. He said he's not sold on Cal Raleigh's future, And I think he's correct. Honestly, I hate to say it. I thought he was going to be potentially our big prospect. He's not. I should have probably scouted him more. I think that was probably the mistake I made before I traded for him. But, like I said, draft brings opportunity to get that top prospect and to build our farm. So if I can draft right, we can start to make him happy in terms of that. So there you go. So we just lost, but on July 9th, going into this game with Oakland, we did have a 9-game winning streak that has brought us up to 40-48 and third in the division. So 2 more games against Oakland, and then we'll be at the All-Star break, and we'll get to see what kind of All-Stars we have. I imagine we'll have at least 1 All-Star reliever, potentially 2. So we win Oakland 3-0. Good game from Gibson. Gibson's just pitched really well this year. I'm going to maybe look to flip him for a prospect. And then we lose, and it's draft day. So, huge day. We pick a number 2. All-Star break. We're here. So, let's take a look at the rosters right now. American League, we got to have somebody, We got to have somebody. Looking, Montero has made it. So, and is he going to be our sole representative? Looks like it. So, Rafael Montero, good for him. It's good that we're getting some success out of this Gallo trade because it's been kind of rough sledding for Cal Raleigh, and it's been rough for Tremel, and it's been rough for Crawford. So, the fact that we've at least got an all-star out of it, that makes me happy. I'm happy for Montero. He's done a great job all season. Let's see who's having the monster year. Who's having the monster year here? There's always somebody having the monster year. Mike Trout is having a pretty great year. Pretty typical Mike Trout year, though, to be honest with you. Kyle Tucker's having a pretty monster year. He is slugging .600, on pace for 8 WAR. Good for him. Let's see if there's anybody else. Matt Andriese is an all-star. Good for him. All right, let's look at the old National League. Who's having the monster year here? Okay, well, Justin Turner's up to 4.5 WAR. He's doing a great job. Here it is. I think this is the monster year right here. Bellinger. This is potentially a repeat of his 2019 MVP season. That's what we could be seeing from Bellinger. So there you have it. Let's take a look at just the standings. There's the standings for those that are curious. Curious to see how your favorite team is doing. And yeah, that's going to wrap things up for this episode. Tune in for episode 3 where I will draft. I will do the trade deadline. And I will finish the season. So hope you all are enjoying the OOTP content with the Rangers. And yeah, this season is going about how I thought it would, to be honest.